Hello, beauties. Welcome, welcome. We're just 1 minute to 7, and I thought I'd jump on real early. Well, not really, it's not that early, it's only 1 minute, but just to get the vibe and get the good energy going for tonight's big event. Really pumped, very excited. And I'm just going to, it's just all those little critiquing things before we start to see how it's all going in the group. Okay, we are live. We're officially live. Fantastic. Just see how it's all going. Great. I think the volume's great. Here we are, beauties and gents, because there might be some gents joining us tonight. Yes, before we start, I'm just so excited to be here. Hi everyone, and welcome to the 10K week method training on how savvy and smart salon owners stay profitable even when clients are cutting back. If I'm looking to the side, I'm just checking my phone. I really want to encourage you to just jump in, tell me that you're live, get the vibes going. We'll love some interaction. Let me know if you're here. Fabulous. So whether you're here live or watching the replay, and by the way, if you watch the replay, hashtag replay, I am so grateful you're here, because you too could be doing something else tonight or today. And I respect and admire deeply those professionals who are willing to invest their time, their money, and their energy to further their growth in their business and life. And that, my friends, are you. I've been looking so forward to really being here and delivering this event for weeks now. It's been such a build-up, and the time has finally arrived, and I would not want to be anywhere else tonight but right here. I'm so excited. To those who have jumped on live, a big welcome, and thank you so much for being on time. Pop into the chat and let me know where you're coming in from, because I just love to see how wide and how far our community stretches. And what time is it where you are? Because it's 7 p.m. New South Wales time in Australia. Sometimes we got people coming from the other side of the world, and it's either really late or really early. So yeah, love to know. Let me know. What time is it where you are? Let me know. And I've spent countless hours preparing for this event for you to have really incredible value tonight. So I really want you to make use of this power training. I hope you have a bit of a delicious drink on the side in case you need it throughout this time. And if you want to take notes wherever you do, take notes. If you want to take a screenshot, I'd love that. Not hashtag me. You can @ me at my Instagram handle, which is @Beauty Business Evolution, and I'll share it back on your stories too. I think let's get some vibe going in our social stories. You're increasing your development tonight, and you're really starting to amp up your knowledge on this whole area of how to create 10K weeks even when clients are cutting back. And you'll walk away with a clear plan to grow your business to consistent 8 to 10K weeks with more confidence and ease and freedom. Also, there's some prizes up for grabs for the event, and these will be awarded for the 3 most engaged attendees. So if you want to be in the running, all you need to do is participate. And to participate, just comment, interact, support, and really, in that support, that's the chatting and the sharing, and share what resonates with you and get involved, because it really helps you to double the training, double the learning. Because once you start to implement these awarenesses and you share them, you learn it twice. And you'll go into the draw to win one of the following: a 60-minute private coaching call with me, valued at $550, and that winner will go deep into their business messaging, signature treatment or treatments. So you walk away with being a specialist to attract new clients. The second winner will win a 30-minute business clarity session valued at $300, and the third winner for showing up the most and commenting and interacting will receive my 1K a day Salon Sprint Tracker, a tool that's helped many of my clients generate thousands in product sales through focused daily action. How does that all sound? To see who's here. But before we dive in, let's set the tone for this event. This is a safe, judgment-free space. So whether you're new to the industry, whether you're 2 years in, 5, 10, 15, 20 years or longer, you're welcome here. There's no shame in feeling stuck, frustrated, or overwhelmed with your business stage. You're not alone. And what you'll learn is a step-by-step strategy to create consistent 8 to 10K plus weeks without needing to be fully booked or work more hours. No need to have complicated tech, constant posting on your socials, or run yourself into the ground doing back-to-back treatments. If you've ever been overworking and feeling under-rewarded financially, profit-wise as well in your business, this is where to start to shift things. It all begins with what I'm going to share with you tonight in our training. So who wants a business that actually supports your lifestyle and not drains it? I'd love to know. Just comment below. Is this something you're working towards? Let me know. Just checking any comments, because this is really important. The more that you interact, the more that I can tailor this training towards the feedback I get. So is this important to you? Because after 30 plus years in this industry, here's what I see again and again. Most salons and skin clinic owners aren't hitting consistent 8 to 10K plus weeks. Less than 10% of salon owners I speak to are consistently earning 10K weeks. Less than 10%. Most are stuck between 2K and 6K per week with little breathing room in their life, feeling very stressed, too busy with doing all of the back end and all of the keeping up with just the whole running of a business. Like there's no real strategy, no plan, no sales process. And then this is all leading to no time flexibility to really live a fulfilling and financially set up lifestyle. But this is because it's not because they're not skilled, talented, dedicated, or passionate. It's because no one has ever showed you how to run a simple, structured, and profitable business. Most don't know where to start. So they just keep doing what feels familiar, right? Even if it's exhausting, because they don't know any other way. Does this kind of sound familiar to you? I'd love to know. Because you know what? We're not only just doing life, many of us are also juggling caring for children, teenagers, or aging parents, or both, or have a lot of other responsibilities outside our business. And with so much on our plate, it's no wonder we feel like we struggle to follow a clear process with every client. Can anyone relate here? Because which one of these sounds more like you right now? You don't know where to start, 1. 2, I know what to do, but I'm not consistent. I've been doing everything alone and it's not working. Are you 1, 2, or 3? I'd love to know below. Just comment below where you're sitting in this area. Because the truth is, clients don't buy from just another skin therapist or brow artist or cosmetic injector or laser specialist. They buy from experts, from women who can guide and lead with confidence, speak with certainty, and deliver real results. Someone they can connect to with confidence, they can trust, and they can trust your energy. They invest in your results and they respond to your self-belief. Because clients can feel it. They feel when you're sure of what you offer. They feel when you're grounded in your value. And they feel when you're holding back as well. And that's the thing. let's be really honest here. When bookings are slow and sales feel flat, it eats away at your certainty. You start second guessing yourself. You rush through the appointments. You skip consultations. You stop asking the deeper questions. And that's the moment real trust and lasting results are built. But that's where your power lies, in the slowing down, the tuning in, the guiding with purpose, because clients just don't want another treatment. They want to feel heard, educated, inspired, and understood. That's why it's time to stop working harder and start working smarter, with strategy, presence, and unapologetic confidence, because we are the true specialist. Whether you're working in an expertise of skin, skilled laser, brow, lashes, injectables, or cosmetic artistry, whatever your skill set is, we and you and all of us are committed to the real results, real care, and real transformation. And this is our time. This is our time to lead, to rise, and to create businesses that don't just survive, they thrive. I ask you, are you ready to step into that, really? So before your next appointment or your product recommendation, ask yourself this. Would you book an appointment with yourself? Would you? Would you rebook with yourself time and time again? Would you feel inspired to buy products from yourself based on the way you show up, your energy, how you speak, what you share, how you educate, and how you lead your clients? Because that's what clients are responding to, even when you're not aware of it. We are the specialist, and we are the true specialist, not just by title, but through the years of training, dedication to our craft, our unwavering commitment to our purpose. This isn't just something we're made for. It is what we've worked for. It's what we've trained for, what we've remained dedicated to, and what we show up with. Because we show up with so much care, integrity, consistency, and purpose. I'm deeply driven, if you can't feel it with my energy, to see this industry not survive but thrive like never before. We can't sit back and let the mega stores and untrained outlets and influencers take what we've worked so hard to build. From Mecca to Sephora to supermarkets now stocking prestige brands, chemists, department stores, dermatologists, who else? Like plastic surgeons, all prescribing skincare, TikTokers selling DIY routines, online prescriptions, and discount injectables popping up everywhere. Clients are being pulled in every direction. And that means one thing: your sales, your consultation process, your marketing, messaging, mindset, and systems need to be super tight, aligned, and unmissable. Because if you're not showing up with the confidence or certainty, and even more so showing up not as a specialist, or even as a specialist, you're just blending in. And when you blend in, unfortunately, clients drop off, and so does your revenue. Here's what I hear salon and clinic owners say too often: business is so quiet. I'm so stressed about my business. Where are my clients? I need more clients. Where are my bookings this week? What's going on? Do you hear yourself saying this? I remember saying that. I used to get bored of my own mind, just feeling that way. This is like the cat chasing the tail, around and around, and nothing changes. The truth is, this isn't just a slow week. It's a pattern, it's a syndrome, and it needs to shift. So let me ask you a big question. Please do answer below. Do you want this to change? And do you want to change this? I'd love to hear some feedback. I'm just going to add a few people to see what's going on. just so people are jumping in, because nothing changes if we don't shift our, sorry, just checking who's here. Yeah, great. So what I was saying, nothing changes, right? If we don't shift what's creating the inconsistency, because that's the key. We need to look at that part, because nothing changes if we don't change what's creating the inconsistency. And that is huge, because a lot of us aren't reflecting and looking at what that is. And I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm saying it because I know what's possible when you do. If you're stuck in a client drought cycle, hearing the same thoughts week after week, it's time to stop the loop. I know it too well. The mind drama gets too much sometimes, right? It really does. And seriously, how much longer can we keep doing business this way? This is just isn't about sales. It's about your future, your life. Let's create something greater to be proud of. Would you like to change it? Let me know in the chat, because honestly, what I'm about to show you can change it. And I'm not about working harder, but running your business the smart way with an aligned mindset, aligned energy, your messaging, your sales, your marketing and systems. Here's another truth. What you focus on expands. Keep focusing on what's not working, like low client bookings, clients not spending, gaps in your appointment system. Then you'll stay stuck in that cycle. But the second you shift your focus to what you do want and actually believe it's possible, everything changes, because the real change doesn't come from circumstances outside ourselves. It happens when you shift and change. How does that feel to you? Because that is the real change. It doesn't happen when your circumstances just shift. It happens when you do. You start showing up differently. You speak with more conviction. You take better actions. And that creates momentum. This is what, waiting for proof is all about. Because why are we waiting for proof? It's not about waiting for proof. It's about backing yourself before the results show up. Your focus drives your energy. Does that make sense? Your energy drives the results. So if you're obsessing about or over what's missing, you'll keep creating more of the same. But when you look in on what you want and move like it's already happening, that's when things start to move for real. Why? Because belief change your actions, and different actions create different results. But if deep down you're telling yourself it won't work, it'll only work for others, it won't work for me, I can't have that, others succeed but not me, you're unconsciously capping your revenue and your growth by building your future based on your past. And I get it. I've been there, telling myself this is too hard, I don't deserve it, it's unfamiliar, why me? I've been there. And no, I wasn't getting far with that mindset with my results. I was still exhausted, working late nights, long hours, procrastinating, distracting myself mindlessly, goodness me, doing everything except what would actually grow my business. By the time I shifted that, and that moment I shifted that, even when I felt scared and terrified, I said, it's too hard. But I knew what I wanted was greater than the feeling of too hard. I wanted the dream and the outcome more than the fear. My goals were more important than my fear. My vision was bigger than my fear. And that's when everything started to change. I was committed and I followed a process. I got the right support. I invested in myself time and time again. I continue to invest in myself because I continue to see how important it is to stay ahead, to be on your game, and to create momentum. Because when you create momentum, you create more freedom, and freedom gives you flexibility and a high performing business based on profit. So let me ask you, if success was guaranteed to you right now, what would you do differently today? Imagine. Because the clinics that are thriving right now, they're not working harder, they're running smarter. They've got a business plan, a process, and support. If 6K to 8Ks or even 10K plus weeks feels out of reach right now, don't be concerned about that. I get it. I've been there. And even now, I still follow the same strategy I teach because it works. It works for me and it works for my coaching clients, and it's changed my life. I take 2 weeks off every month from my clinic, and next year I plan to work 1 week a month because of the strategy, the intention around it, and the consistency. And you can have this too. What lifestyle would you like? I'd love to hear. Put in the chat, what are you after with your lifestyle? Maybe it's working 3 days a week. Is that your dream? Or having a 4-day weekend? It's all possible, right? When you follow the right process. This isn't luck, it's not hustle, it's not burnout. It's a belief. It's all combined with sales, confidence, and getting your marketing messaging on point with simple systems, all aligned with your mindset and your energy. And that's why today, in this training, matters so much. I'd love to hear who's here. So Christina says, I'm not sure, it's just me, but the sound is quite low. Oh. Weird. Okay, I'll just see from my end. Hopefully that's better, Christina. I don't know, is that any better? So yeah, so I really just want to briefly introduce myself because there's actually a lot of new people here. Yeah, let me know how the sound's going. So hi, I'm Naomi Nahum, founder of the Beauty Business Evolution and Salon Success Program. I help salon owners and aesthetic professionals create consistent 10K weeks with more time freedom, flexibility, and more confidence without exhaustion. The smart way and not the hard way. I started my first business at 25 with no clients, minimal capital, and no connections. Literally, I knew no one except for my now husband. Just determination, passion, and an unwavering self-belief and a big vision to transform the industry. By 27, and that's 2 years later, I built a multi-six-figure skin and beauty clinic in the heart of Sydney's eastern suburbs, one of the most competitive markets in the country, with consistent 10K weeks and a loyal client base who feels seen, supported, and transformed. And today I coach and mentor salons, skin clinics, beauty, and aesthetic professionals who are done trying to do it all and are ready to run a highly profitable, easeful business that actually love showing up for. And here's one of the biggest lessons I've learned, and I hope it stays with you. You might want to write this down. The breakthrough in your business doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing better. How does that land? Becoming the go-to, the specialist, not trying to be everything to everyone, not the generalist, because generalists blend into the crowd. It's about refining your skills, your talent, honing your signature treatment, your technique, your results, and then getting known for it. I'm not saying you need to let go of everything in your service menu or strip your menu right down to bare minimum. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is be the specialist in what you love. Own the skill. Talk about it. Lead with it. Guide your clients through the process of what you love doing. Become the name your clients remember. Refer and rebook for that specific transformation and result. Let me tell you what this actually really means. It's about doubling down on your strengths. It's about refining what you're really great at and what you're already really great at. Sharing what you love and what actually gets the results with every single client, every single time. You know, because we stop hiding your brilliance. So keeping that to yourself doesn't serve anyone. Really, does it? Not your business, not your clients, and definitely not you. What does playing small get you? Being overlooked, underpaid, exhausted, leading to burnout, exhaustion. I know it all too well. And surrounded by clients who don't even know what you really specialize in. If your clients don't know what you're known for, how can you say yes, or how can they say yes to you or what you offer? You've got to own it. Like, that's the thing. We've got to own our gifts, our talents, our skills, and share it, speak it, show it. Because when you do, everything shifts. It does. Huge shifts occur because when I just feel so much about this, because we're in a saturated market and standing out is no longer optional. We need to make impact, more noise, and we need to do it with intention. You've got to go out there. We've got to go like on this expressive journey with the right mindset, the right strategy and sales process that actually helps you grow. We've got to get this right. And that's the number one thing I want to look at tonight. The strategy on how to create consistent 6 to 8K weeks to 10K plus weeks without needing to be fully booked or working longer hours. This one shift changed everything for me. When I specialized in my signature holistic rejuvenation facial treatment and introduced a 20% premium charge compared to my team, everything shifted. Not every client was happy about it, of course. Goodness no. I had to deal with a lot of conversations and objections, and I got around that. But because this wasn't just a price rise, it was a business model. And I believed in the results I offered, and I wanted to see fewer clients. I wanted to work fewer days and make more space for my team to grow. Charging more created more room for my team to be more booked out, more trusted, and to build a loyal client following for their own. It was a strategic move, not just for profit, but for sustainability, leadership, and growth, because I positioned myself as an expert, not as a generalist. This became my business model: work less, earn more, and deliver deeper results. I only wanted to work with clients who valued what I offered, the kind of clients who were happy to pay for my expertise and not just bargain. You know, I couldn't deal with those sort of clients, and unfortunately the plan worked. So those clients where I only wanted to work with clients who valued what I offered, the kind of client who was happy to pay for my expertise, and people that, you know, weren't willing to go there, those bargain type people who wanted the same service, an equal service, but paying less, they could go to my team members. So I was calling in a specific kind of client, and that changed everything. Really did. I wasn't running myself into the ground anymore, seeing 7 to 10 clients a day. I started seeing 3 clients only a day, earning triple what I was making before, because I was spending more time in consultation, which converted to skincare sales and rebookings, having real conversations, and allowing those clients to build a relationship with. So their bookings were not only repeat bookings, but they actually invested in a home care program because of my savvy sales process. And now this shift is changing everything for my clients too. Because the truth is, real transformation doesn't come from working longer hours, opening more days, or working harder. It comes from smart, confident action. You could choose to do those long hours. Absolutely, I'm not saying you can't. But the real truth comes from being smarter with your time and how you spend your time with that client. I hope this is landing. Is this making sense? I'd love to hear some feedback. How is this all going for you? Because from marketing that attracts the right clients, even while you're in the treatment room, if you get your marketing right, you can still allow your business to work for you even when you're working with clients, or on a break, or finally on your weekend off. Just like my coaching client Rui, this was huge. I'm just excited to share this result with you. This became evident because Rui, she had a successful high-level eyelash extension business in Sydney, in the city, and she was determined to turn her business around. She was already hitting a stable 36 to 38k months before she was coached by me, so that's roughly 9,500 per week. And she wanted to hit consistent 50k months, so that's 12,500 a week. And she made an extra 8k in 2.5 weeks after working with me and hitting her biggest revenue month ever at 48k's in October last year. Then come December, my gosh, we really went for it. She had a bigger goal. So her business smashed her original goal of 50k's and went to 57,700. Like, wow, that was December last year. And she looked at her rebooking numbers. She normally gets about 80 bookings in December, and she got 137 bookings with that huge goal. 57k, 57,700 to be precise. All because we planned and mapped out a complete strategy, and she checked in with me every week with our accountability and my coaching meetings. And this was just within 2 months working together in the 3-month program by implementing the Savvy Sales System. That's how good it is. And Jess, oh my gosh, Jess is my coaching client and went from 6k salon owner, burnt out, about to walk out, absolutely tired, exhausted, in tears on the call. And she went to a 15 to, I think she actually, by memory, she turned her 6k week around to 12 to 15k's consistently. Just applying these 5 steps in the Savvy Sales System, because she was determined to make it work. She was either had no choice. She was either going to walk out or make it work. So I was her last call. And then she went on to employ 2 other team members, and she had more time to spend with her daughters, and she was working way less. And this is just what's possible. That's why I'm sharing this. This is all possible. So, I love to hear how that lands for you all. Because, to get to the heart of what we're talking about, the truth behind why some salon soar and why others stay stuck is because a confused client never buys. You think about it. When have you been confused in a situation, and often we've walked away from it, or we can't make a decision? Because a confused client never buys. They won't rebook. They won't upgrade. They'll go somewhere else. Not because they don't care, and not because you're not great at what you do, but because they don't actually know what you specialize in or how you help them. And if you can't clearly explain what the potential results are, or the transformation, or show and explain to your clients what's possible, how can they ever say yes to you or what you offer? If your messaging is vague, or what you talk about is vague, if you're unsure how to guide or lead your clients, what to say, when to say, you're trying to be everything to anyone and everyone, your clients will just walk away going, wow, she was a wonderful woman. She was really nice, but yeah, sure. What does she actually do? How can she help me? And that's the uncertainty piece. That's what's killing rebookings. That's what blocks sales and leaves money on the table. So, unfortunately, that's what blocks your impact too. So, and it also blocks how your income is. It caps it. The income you're here to make and the income you deserve to be making. So we got to really look at this, because clarity converts and confusion costs. So be honest here. Are your clients crystal clear on what you do best? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. I really would. I'll have a look what's happening in the comments. So having successful staff so I don't have to do it all. Yeah, Paula. Yeah. So that's precise thing. If you don't already, Paula, you need a system to train your staff to equally show up how you want them to show up. Dwayne says, I want to know how it works. Great. Yes. Thank you. I'm showing you. We're getting there. Not thinking about my business so much and feel like I'm always hustling. Yeah, Abby. It's big. Kathleen, to be able to go away and not have to still work in my business. Yep, it's all possible. Great. Yeah, this is all making sense. It's all possible. So a talented salon owner recently, I'd love to share this with you actually. It's top of mind. I want to share a story with you if that's okay, because this is going to really make sense. It's going to sort of put all the pieces together. A talented salon owner recently said to me, Naomi, I do everything: cosmetic tattooing, facials, waxing, brows, tinting, lashes, lamination, but I'm still not making a profit. You know, she had the skill, she had the heart, she had the passion, but her marketing was scattered, her messaging was all over the place, it was really unclear, her motivation was dwindling because clients weren't rebooking, and she didn't know why. Oh, it's upsetting. She was posting on Instagram, hoping that would bring in clients. Do we all relate to that? But there was no plan, no structure, no clear message behind her post, so her efforts didn't turn into bookings. It just left her feeling more disheartened. She didn't know where to start, and neither did her clients. They didn't even realize she was an award-winning cosmetic tattooist. That was her zone of genius. But she was hiding in sort of this feeling of, I want to offer my smaller services because I'm afraid that if I lead with tattooing, she'd lose her clients in other areas. So she was hiding behind the other services. I don't know, have some of you done that before? You sort of, well, I hear this expression of, it's my bread and butter. I just do that to make up for the loss. But what we focus on, remember, expands. So, but what was really going on for this particular woman? She was wasn't just losing a profit, she was losing her clarity, her confidence, and lacking a sales process that actually works. I'm not saying you can't offer multiple treatments, as I've mentioned previously. What I'm saying is this: if you don't clearly own what you offer and present your signature service, your clients won't understand the results you offer and the value. Specialization is your positioning here as the go-to expert. It builds magnetism, trust, and confidence. It gives your business, the brand, something solid to stand on and stand for. For some people just need that to be like the thing to know. It's your stamp. It gives your business, the brand, and something solid. And you know, if people can't remember that, you just blend in. Because when you're unclear, when your business feels confusing to you and your clients and your team and to the greater market, this is a big problem. So what will you do differently in your business from today to stop this cycle of confusion, hesitation, and under-earning? Drop it in the comments. I'll just check what's coming up for you all. Because you know what, I saw this situation with my coaching client Mandy, a gifted dermal clinician who created her own bespoke compounded products from scratch. Like, she makes her own products, but she wasn't talking about her products to her clients. She waited for clients to talk to her about them, and she waited for her clients to book online, because she'd say, oh no, they just leave after my treatment, and then they always say, I'll just book online. No, we have to inspire clients to book in before they leave. My goodness. So this was the thing. And they hoped that things would turn around for them. But you know what? They didn't actually. She rarely mentioned how she helped women with her specialty, which was rosacea, sensitivity, and acne, because she was hoping for them to ask questions. How many of you have sort of felt not resistant, but withdrawn from sharing information from your clients in fear of maybe being pushy or oversharing, or should I do that, or is that enough? Oh, I love that, Abby. Maybe reduce my menu or concentrate on services I don't want to do anymore. Yes. Oh my gosh. Or give the services you don't want to do if you have a team member to your team. Or if not, if you can't reduce your services straight away, you put those services up much higher so people can go to your team. But we can talk about that later, Abby, if you want to. But that's great. I'm very happy for you. But back to Mandy, once we worked together inside my 2-month Beauty Business Accelerator program, that changed everything for Mandy. Her business, her family, her relationship. She said to me, my God, I have a better relationship with my husband. I'm happier. She started confidently recommending her bespoke formulas by messaging her clients. She felt excited about what she offered once she lifted the lid on, why am I hiding? Why am I dimming my light? She realized this was just too frequent and it wasn't working, it wasn't serving her. We built messaging around her specialty and began having real conversations with her clients, like I was saying. And you know what? She doubled her sales, her confidence grew, and she had a life back with her family. This knock-on effect, oh my God, made me so proud. It was just unbelievable. It was beyond words. You know, some of my clients just make me cry sometimes with how far they come in such little time. That's why I just, you know, love it when you invest in products and services and courses and coaches that actually deliver results. So let me ask you honestly, who here feels like they've been offering too much without a clear message or a signature service? If that's you, no judgment, no problem. Type me in the chat. Got it. Yeah. I think they're a little bit confused. Yeah, we got to clear that up, Abby. Yeah, that's definitely has to be sorted out. So, you know, if you're already focused and promoting a clear signature treatment or a hero service each week, I'd love to hear that too. Who's doing that? I know there's a couple of you here. I think Caitlin, if you're here, you definitely specialize. Christina, you specialize. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to hear who else specializes. And really be clear on it. The other point of the specialization, can you articulate it well enough to your clients so they understand that is your specialty? So number 2, what we're going to go through is smart sales and system tweaks to boost your income and profit margin, even when clients are cutting back spending. So let's talk about sales. I love sales. Not the type that makes a lot of beauty pros cringe. No, not the boring scripted pushy type of sale combos. No, the kind that feels like service and not selling. Those type of sales. And that is my savvy sales that I love talking about. It is one of the most important skills in our industry we can learn. Without sales, you wouldn't sell your treatments, your products, or your business wouldn't grow or thrive. But the reality is most salon owners don't fully embrace sales. Why? Because they are never taught how to do a sale or sales in an educational, elegant, empowering way. We associate sales with being pushy, awkward, and overly dominant. And that just doesn't sit right. Not with me, not with anyone. But sales done right isn't about pressure, it's about connection, because at its core, selling is serving. It is our responsibility and part of our role as a professional to offer your clients the best outcome possible. If you don't, someone else will. It's true. They will go spend their hard-earned money somewhere else. Not because you weren't good enough, not because they didn't like you, not because your treatments weren't great. You didn't guide them towards the solution and the results they wanted to, and what they wanted and what they needed, basically. They need the direction. You need to guide them toward the result they want and need. This is one of the leading reasons clients don't return or rebook, because they haven't clearly offered the result, the solution, or the transformation they deeply want. So if sales feels uncomfortable for you, ask yourself, wouldn't you rather upskill your sales confidence and communication than keep losing clients and risk ending up with a business that isn't thriving? Let me know below. I'd love to know. Charmaine, yes, and cutting down my menu. Good, I love hearing that. But what are you going to replace it with? Tell me what your signature treatment is. So, this is a skill I have mastered, and it has funded my life. Truly. I get to have 2 weeks off every month. I'm able to be more generous with my family and friends and clients. I'm able to look after my health, have incredible relationships. I have so many luxurious experience because of the savvy sales process I teach. And I would love to show you how easy it is once you understand the process. Would you like to learn how to sell with ease that brings a consistent 6 to 8, even 10K plus weeks on repeat? Would you like to know that? Not just 1 week here and there, on repeat. I'm talking consistently. How would you like that? Because when you are with your clients, it's, not about knowing what to say, when to say and how to say it in a way that feels aligned with your values and supports your clients' best results. It's putting that all together. Because when you're with your clients and you know what to say, when to say, and how to say it, there is an alignment that happens. There's an integrity and authenticity. And that's my 5-step savvy sale process that I teach. Cataline says, my difficulty is teaching our staff sales in a non-pushy, informative way for our clients. Yeah, that's because we've never been taught how to do it, and that's what I specialize in. It's all in the timing, when you say it and how you say it. As we go on tonight, Caitlin, this will make more sense to you. And if we need to talk after, just drop me a message. Because, knowing an exact system that is not pushy, this is the method that will help you. You get to understand when your clients are most receptive to recommendations. You learn how to weave retail rebookings and upgrades naturally into the treatment conversation, not tracked or tacked on awkwardly at the end, because at the end they're leaving, they don't want to talk then. You're welcome, my love. Use urgency and scarcity ethically, and I say that with absolute conviction, to support decision making, not from fear, but from clarity and commitment. For example, let's say you've got 1 appointment left today. Instead of just hoping someone books in and takes that booking, you use a strategic scarcity method. Say something like this, really simple, but it works. I only have one spot left this afternoon at 3 p.m. Would you like me to hold it for you? I can book you in now before someone else books it in. When you say this with confidence, and 9 times out of 10, your client will shift their schedule to lock it in because the energy feels clean and clear, and you've shown so much value and urgency by saying one appointment. Scarcity isn't pressure, it's clarity. It helps clients make faster decisions and take action on what they really want. And here's an urgency in action. You've prescribed a home care plan, and say if you want to start your clients using the product straight away or that week, here's what you can handle and say. Well, already you can say something probably more like this. If you start today, now, we'll be a few steps ahead of your next appointment next time you come in. So basically you're saying, if we start now, you'll be already a few steps ahead of your next appointment next month, and you'll start seeing results. Isn't that great? If we, delay, this is what you're saying to the client, if you delay this, we're going to lose that momentum and your results won't happen so quickly. So that urgency supports their success and keeps them on track towards the results they truly want. Then back it up by saying to your client, how does that feel to you? You will find most clients say yes because you have asked, how does that feel for them? That is the missing piece. We don't ask. That gives validation and permission. How would you like to do that? How does that feel for you? You need to include that. Because when it gives them permission, it allows them to decide for themselves without pressure. And this is the leading difference. They decide. Yeah, you got it, Christina. Yeah, it's when we ask for the rebooking, and it's when it's time to talk about the rebooking and the home care and the upgrades and the referrals. When you don't know, often we freeze or feel weird, your tone changes, your words feel mumbled or quiet, or I don't know, we feel rushed, you second guess yourself, you avoid, or you probably might avoid the conversation entirely. I don't know, can you relate to this sort of feeling? Because we don't know when and where to actually say these types of words or have these types of conversations. And too often it only comes up when they're grabbing their coat or their handbag on the way out of the door. Sound familiar? I've seen it too often and it's a disaster. But you're not alone, honestly. It's just, we've just never been taught, we've never been trained. So many of my coaching clients felt the same way until they learned a better way, because sales isn't about being pushy, it's about being prepared. That is the difference, preparation and understanding when you do it. It's not pressure, it's a part of the service. It's not meant to be awkward, it's natural, it's a conversation. When you're grounded in the confidence and the clarity, and when you get it right, it becomes one of the most powerful tools to grow your wildly profitable heart-led business with clients who are happy to rebook and buy from you and refer you. Because you can have self-belief, talent, and a full appointment schedule, but without a consistent sale process, you will cap your income. It's true. This isn't a confidence issue. This is a structure issue. How's that sound? Does that make sense? At the same time, if you have a sales process, but your mindset is riddled with self-doubt, you feel disconnected, just nervous, whatever the feeling might be, that will show, and both need to align. Let's check in. Who here follows a consistent sales process with every client? It's yes or no, there's no wrong or right, it's just an insight. So yeah, to answer that, Christina, I would just say next time you come, I'd love, just bring your diary. Let's actually get into a flow of making a consistent booking. But it's when you say and how you say it. Yeah, that's very valid. A lot of people rely on their diaries or they forget it. But you know, we can book on our phones these days. I mean, we have appointment setters, calendars on our phones. So yeah, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it, because you know, we all go through these things. But what we really need to do here, ladies, is reframe what a sale is. Um, so a sale is a connection. It starts a conversation. A sales is education. A sale is basically your clients have a problem and you offer them a solution with a product or a treatment or treatments. Sales solves your clients' biggest problems and challenges. Sales is how we serve, and selling is serving, and serving is selling. It really goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other to have a thriving business. It really is a disservice not to offer and suggest home care products to help your clients. It's our duty of care. It's part of our role to help our clients gain the best outcomes, results, and transformation. It's suggesting what your clients actually needs. But the thing is, it has to happen at the right time, and timing is everything. With the right energy. Can't feel awkward or weird, like I was saying before. You have to just, it's when it happens naturally in the right time, that's when it all lines up. Like myself, you know, I have specialized knowledge and skills, and this would be a disservice to me if I didn't share my knowledge and ask if you needed support by me. Honestly, this is just how it is, because we need each other and we all can support each other with what we have to offer, and you must remember that when you're with your clients. However, the thing is, the timing, as I keep saying, it is all about the timing. I'm just drilling that in, because when people are terrified or don't understand sales, it is the timing and how you say it. I can't say that enough, because your suggestions matter. This is the leading difference. This is when it will not feel like you're selling. If it feels like you're selling, you're probably selling. That's the point. It shouldn't feel like you're selling. It's all of the things I mentioned before. Just like in life there's always a right timing for everything, and I really intrinsically believe that. This is a situation I was in 2002, and I almost didn't do it. I was terrified. You know, back in 2002, I was bone exhausted, like absolutely burnt out to just unbelievable exhaustion. And I was desperate for answers, but the thought of spending 5K on a 5-day course on selling, but it wasn't just selling, it was called Selling with Integrity. I was so excited but terrified at the same time, as anyone felt like that when they feel like change is happening and you're so close, but you're so used to thinking and feeling a certain way. It's more comfortable to do what you know rather than change when you know things are going to change, but you still don't quite believe it to be true. That was me. I didn't have the money to pay in full, but heck, I was scared and I wanted to do it. But something in me knew I had to back myself. So I did. And wow, what a life-changing relief I did, because the one thing I did was make that decision, and it changed my business life forever. My team were able to follow that system and structure that I was missing. The course gave me a sales structure I didn't even realize I was missing. I didn't know I was missing that piece. It's like the puzzle that you can't find that missing link, and there it was. It helped me understand what I was doing intrinsically and instinctively, and refine it into a repeatable, powerful process. It taught me and my team. I was able to teach them. We became top performing skin clinic in Australia, selling $100,000, I kid you not, and that's wholesale in skincare. Unbelievable. Like, wow. And in 2022, I became one of the top 3 NIMU skin therapists in Australia because of my sales process. Not only the results that NIMU recognised, the skincare company NIMU recognised, but because I had to sell a certain amount of product as well. And then we achieved 2 other awards following that. But none of this would have been possible or happened if I let fear get in the way. I didn't want fear to win, and I don't want that for you either. And that's what is the beginning. You know, sometimes the beginning is just feeling it and feeling uncomfortable and being real around that. You know, since that day of spending 5K, I've spent so much money. Oh my God, it's embarrassing or alarming, really. I spent around 150K in countless trainings, coaching, mentoring, programs, seminars, webinars, events, 8-month retreats, 1-year programs, you name it, I've done it. Because, not because I had spare cash laying around to tell you that, but because I refused to stay stuck, and I learnt the hard way, but now I teach the smart way. So if you're scared to invest in yourself, I get it, but trust me, backing yourself and believing in yourself is a thing that changes everything. Because finally I had a process that matched my passion, and I teach this in my programs. And if you're wondering if this works, let me share Jess's story a little bit deeper. Remember that client who, oh God, was on the edge of tears, burnt out, exhausted, and was only making 6Ks and didn't see her daughters? Well, after implementing my Savvy Sales method, she doubled her income. Remember, she went to 12Ks, she built confidence, gained clarity, and finally found the balance she had been craving. Bye, Fiona. So the power of Savvy Sales is, well, I hope you watch the rest of the replay, Fiona, because there's juicy things coming still. Because the power of, Savvy Sales is industry icons like Maria Anna Koch-Coloni, founder of O Cosmetics, Jeannie Burke, Venusta's Paddington, Fiona Tuck, Gay Wardle, Isabella Longagrain, Jocelyn Peroni, Melanie Grant, they all just didn't master skin health one way or the other. They mastered sales and how to sell. They built empires on connection, education, and value-driven conversations. They each teach and have a savvy sales process where they know how to communicate value. They understand what their ideal clients' wants and needs and desires are. They know how to create aligned suggestions, the kind that makes clients say yes, because they speak directly to their clients' desires. They educate, they connect, they build trust, and they make offers to their clients they can't refuse, because they understand a thriving business isn't just built on treatments alone, it's built on relationships. And yes, let's be real here, it also requires products, because that's what makes your business profitable and scalable. Not to mention, it's way easier to sell multiple products in minutes. For example, if a client walks in, or you're in a consultation after a treatment, because we know what it's like tirelessly working back to back, our hands being exhausted, standing on our feet all day. That was me, but not now. It's so much easier for clients to purchase product on repeat and reoccurring revenue and the real business momentum without the physical exhaustion. Because how much easier is it when a client walks in, boom, they just want what they love, and you can recheck in how things are going and have a quick conversation or rebook appointments. I mean, this is what it can turn into consistently, not just one-offs. So how do we build those relationships? I'd love to know how you feel about your client relationships. Do you know your ideal clients deeply? So much so you know if she likes white wine or red wine, or neither, jokes aside. I'm just saying, you know what your clients think about, dream about, desire. You know the results they want. You know what bothers them. But the thing is, we need to listen actively, ask really much deeper questions, and be smart about our question asking, and make confident, aligned suggestions. That's the difference. So when a client says something, ask them, tell me more about that. Oh, how long have you been feeling like that? How does that affect you? We need to ask those deeper questions. And you must always include a consultation, even if it's just a check-in, follow-up on this, like, or a small follow-up, like the same structure that I mentioned previously, because it's never just a tick box moment. It's about building conversations that create safety, connection, and a deeper understanding, because people buy from people they trust, like, and feel seen by. And through the power of high comes natural, where the rebookings feel easy, where you stop second guessing and your clients start asking you and start saying yes with confidence. Because when clients start asking you questions, you know you're on track. And if they're not, you need to ask them more questions. Tell me more about that. How does that feel to you? What have you found? All these sorts of smaller tweaks that allow you to connect deeper with your client. You know exactly what to do and what to say when you understand the system and the process, and when to say it and how to say it, and the way it feels natural and aligned and true to you. So your client says yes, not when they're halfway out the door and the code in their hand, right? But during the treatment, your clients are the most receptive. This is really important. So during the treatment, your clients are the most receptive to receive your suggestions when they're most relaxed, connected, open, and ready. And that's often right at the beginning and generally before they get off the treatment bed. That is one high point, actually two, before the beginning and slightly at the end before they get off the bed. That's when we ask and start preparing their programs. This is a really much deeper process that I'm explaining here. That one moment handled right changes everything. And if you want more time, freedom, and flexibility and financial abundance without exhaustion, Savvy Sales gives you the repeatable educational sales system that makes it natural to prescribe skincare, promote your services, and turn up every day so your conversations turn into new bookings and loyal repeat clients that builds consistent ongoing appointment flow without feeling pushy. This is what's possible. So, outcomes for your Savvy Sales you might be curious about. This is what goes on. You get higher revenue, 80% more bookings, confident conversations, and clients who can't stop talking about you. Wouldn't you love that? Just a quick check-in question. I suppose it's something I'll just get really, really raw here. Are you currently offering consultations that feel truly connected and intentional? Or have they started to feel a bit rushed or routined? I'd love to know. Because if you are thinking at this point, I would love to learn all of this, and this would help to support my business growth to 8K plus weeks on repeat without hard work and exhaustion, just drop the word grow below and I'll send you the details on how I can support you to do that. So, this is something that if it's calling you, just drop the word grow and I'll know you'd like to receive the information on how this is possible. Because this isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter, even with a proven process that lets you sell with heart, confidence, and ease. So, I can easily forward you the details, not a problem. The quiet shame of knowing you're meant to have your numbers sorted and avoiding them because it's confronting. Well, that was my client Joyce. I'd love to share her story because when she came to me, she was ready to finally run a profitable business. I think some of you are going to relate to her story because it's so real and so incredible. But what she didn't know was how to sell with ease. She didn't know how to price her services properly. That's a big thing. She knew her facial workshops weren't making money. She hoped they were and felt so guilty to raise her prices. And when we looked at the back, like the black and white numbers and the back end of her numbers, it was a wake-up call. She was putting all the time and love and energy in, but you know, the setup, the passion, her workshops were just beautiful, only to realize she was running at a loss. And the moment of that pain, when she realized that, she got her power back, and we worked together to map out all of the value she was delivering. We structured her offer, refined her messaging, and tripled the price. The result, sold out events, no one hesitated. People were just booking in with confidence, and her bookings doubled and her profit doubled as well. Not her revenue, her profit. But the growth didn't stop there for Joyce. She also used to feel really intimidated in her consultations. She avoided asking the deeper questions, but because she didn't care, she didn't avoid asking deeper questions because she didn't care. That wasn't what was going on, but because she was afraid of overstepping or feeling salesy. So we had to work on that really deeply. We created a simple process. We went over things. We built Joyce's confidence right up by giving her real relatable language and words, and role playing was the key thing here. We went over and over it, and that felt so natural to her, and that allowed her clients to feel even more seen, heard, and understood. You know, because for example, tell me, you know, the things that she would say was, tell me more about that. How long have you been experiencing that? How long has that been a concern for you? What's your ideal outcome? These are just simple things, but if you avoid asking them and going deeper with them, you won't get the deeper answers, and you won't resolve your clients' problems, and therefore you won't feel comfortable offering them a solution with a home care or products. So once she had that information, I showed her how to wrap it all up in a clear home care recommendations and a treatment plan for her clients. We mapped out a 30-day skin journey for her clients, including new product every month, starting only if they started with the fundamentals, and then she could build. So suddenly it wasn't scary, it wasn't pushy, it was professional, and it all worked. Joyce started selling hundreds of dollars of skincare per day, and it felt elegant, easeful, and completely in service of her clients. Because when your marketing is clear, your message is strong, and your sales process is aligned, you don't just attract any clients, you attract the right clients, the ones that stay, refer, and purchase again and again. What happens when you build a business with clarity, strategy, and heart? That's what happens. It's wonderful. The third thing briefly we're going to go over tonight is having a sustainable growth method to reduce overwhelm, simplicity with your business so you can thrive in today's economy. Would you love that? So what we do need to have all of that is simple systems and a strategic marketing to streamline your business and scale with ease. Because without systems, you're running a salon off memory, and let's be honest, that's exhausting. You're chasing tasks, you're leaving little notes behind, you're overthinking everything. I didn't do this, I need to do that, oh no, I forgot that, I've been there. And it wears you down, it's exhausting. So simple systems change all of this, and they give you clarity, structure, and tools to run your business smoothly without relying on guesswork or chaos behind the scenes. You know, from your rebookings to your follow-ups to skincare sales to KPIs, appointment setting. Everything has a place. Instead of running in circles, you have a smart, streamlined process that keeps your business ticking even when you're not in your treatment room. And you'll spend less time thinking and fixing or scrambling things or mumble jumbling everything. There's a place for everything, and more time treating clients, growing your business the way that is less stressful, and you can actually breathe and feel regulated. Wouldn't you love that? Because the outcomes for you, if you do have these systems in place and strategic marketing, is a smoother, more structured business with less stress, more flow, and reduced fatigue. And you finally have systems that support your growth, your energy, your vision, particularly when you work so hard to create the business you have. And if you have a team, this also means real accountability. Everyone knows what to do and how to do it. Or even if you're solo, even more reason to put structure in place that holds you up and you can lead with ease. Because with strategic marketing, when you attract high-paying, loyal clients on repeat without generic promotions, instead we want to craft a compelling one-sentence message that highlights your unique specialty, so you can confidently stand out and position yourself as the go-to expert in a crowded market. Remember Mandy, who I was sharing before? Well, this is another thing I did for her. We crafted a one-sentence message. Her salon was based in Adelaide and she just wasn't getting the sales because her website looked exactly the same as all the other local providers of what she specialized in. So we created and crafted a one-sentence message, and the Google rank just kept bringing in clients after clients. She was getting more bookings than ever because of just getting that one sentence on point. So do you have a message that stands out? Do you have a one sentence bold message that you have that you can repeat to your clients that makes you stand out like an expert? I'd love to know. Let me know. I just saw Jess. Yeah, great. I'll send you the details, Jess. No problem at all. Very exciting. Because if you don't, I'd love to help you with that one message, because that could be the leading difference. So, when you combine all of these three pillars, savvy sales, strategic marketing, and simple systems, as I've just shared, your business starts to feel lighter, clearer, and more profitable. Then when you also bring that in with your energy and your mindset into alignment with those three pillars, that's when you go from low or no profit or barely living week to week to unstoppable 6, 8, 10K plus weeks, not just once but consistently. And I remember I used to have just one client a day when I first started, and instead of spiraling into doom and gloom, I made a conscious decision, and this is really important to listen to this to shift my energy. I will do, Nadira. Hi, my love. I'll send you the info. I made a conscious decision to shift my energy. I tapped into gratitude. I was so happy to serve my client, that one client, and give my absolute best, because when I'm grateful, my energy expands. And when your energy expands, so does your attraction power. But so many professionals I speak to, this is really, they see that one client as a setback. I hear this still, often, daily, weekly. I only have one booking today. Oh my God, where are my clients? They say it with such defeat. Makes me actually tear up, because it's not a waste of a day. They don't have a system and they're not following a structure or a process. We need to reframe the story, or they're not even grateful for that one client. I mean, wow, one client. I get to care for one human today and nurture the heck out of them, because with the right sales process, strategic marketing, and simple systems in place, that one client can change your whole day from being bare to booming. Honestly, it still works for me. As I said, I see 3 clients. And for me to see 3 clients a day and make 10Ks plus, you got to bet that I'm doing something. And you probably want to know about what I'm doing. And I'm sharing all this with you. That one appointment holds more power than you think. And when, I had those quiet days, I would nurture that client. I would give them more time, with their permission, of course. So with permission, I would do something like this. So during the meet and greet and the consultation, I would say in a simple way and a respectful way, like, lucky I have an extra 10 minutes today. Would you mind if I spent a little bit more time understanding your skin and mapping out a plan for you? And you best believe that one question opened the door to trust. No pressure, just presence, just giving, and full energy. That's what changed everything, because this isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things at the right time with the right person who is open, because you've allowed it to happen as well. It's your energy, your mindset, how you show up, and then you get the right support and do it all in the right order, and boom, it all works. You know, client wins like Mandy, where, you know, where she said to me, I used to undercharge and overdeliver, and now I have professional boundaries. I trust myself more with my newfound confidence. I've created clear offers. My clients value my time, and I finally have my weekends and my life back. You know, Gabby Blessing, she founded clarity and momentum and felt deeply supported. Lisa Rush, who has an injectable business in Sydney Paddington, created systems, built a team accountability. Her back end team was a mess. They didn't know what to do, when to do. It was like being in a circus in the hallway of their clinic. I went to see her personally. I was like, whoa, we've got to put some systems in place here. No one knows what to do and when to do it. And this doubled their sales with ease. All of these clients and so many, many more hit their first 8K weeks using this process. And from there, this is where things really shifted. So the thing is, it's really up to us, because once you have a process, and that's where things continue to grow, the results speak for themselves. So let's just briefly recap what we've covered. I know it's been a lot to take in. I appreciate it so much. And I appreciate that this is really quite fast learning, but you know, you're all smart, savvy women, so I know you get it. I know you feel it. So let's take a moment to reflect on what you're walking away with. Number one, we went through specialization and clear messaging, so you stand out, get recognized, and attract high-value clients who are ready to buy. We also went through a smarter way to grow using savvy sales, strategic marketing, your one-sentence message, and simple systems that reduce stress and increase profit. We covered having an aligned mindset and energy with confident actions, because when your mindset, energy, strategy work together, you grow with ease and not exhaustion. This is what it looks like to build a profitable, purpose-driven business with clarity, structure, and heart. And the best part, you don't have to do it alone. So let's take a moment to speak directly to you and those of you who are sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, Naomi, this makes so much sense, but I don't know where to start. I need support to actually apply it, implement it, and have the accountability. If that's you, you know, amazing. And I feel you, I hear you. I'd love to just support you. And if you feel tonight I have given you great value, would you mind if I had a few minutes just to share what I have available? Because it's an incredible opportunity to work with me. Would that be okay with you all? Just checking. Oh, thank you so much. Because I'd love to invite you into a 2-month coaching program, the Beauty Business Accelerator program. My God, it's an amazing program, if I must say myself. Thanks, Michaela. Yes. It's a high-end 2-month program for solo skin therapists, beauty or aesthetic professionals ready to double their sales and create consistent 8K weeks in just 60 days. I'll help you create consistent 8K weeks, even if you're starting from 1 to 4Ks. Double your skincare sales and treatment revenue. Sell products and treatments daily without pressure on your clients or on you. Build a loyal client base who stays, spends, and refers new clients. Grow your business while keeping your workload light and sustainable. And this is for you if you're not only solo, but if you are between 1 and 4Ks at the moment. But if you're a clinic owner at 1 to 4Ks and you're passionate, talented, and still doing it all alone, second guessing your prices, your marketing, your sales, ready to stop winging it and start working with a process that really provides so much that this has worked for hundreds of others, craving more income, more time to themselves, and more calm, without losing your integrity or over delivering. So over 2 months, you'll receive one-on-one coaching calls via Zoom with me, daily support with on our Voxer app. You'll get all my scripts, strategies, and everything that I created to get to 10K per week each and every week. So you'll get all of that, all of my scripts and strategies that today make me a minimum of 10K per week. Also includes a 2-month business growth plan, so you know exactly where to focus, so you can increase your profit, streamline your systems, and drive motivation. Yeah, so it's a comprehensive program. It's amazing. But if you're thinking, I don't have the time, we're a little bit time poor, but you know what, honestly, if you won't need more time. You'll learn how to do less and get better results. Clients feel more energized after this and not overwhelmed. If you feel like, oh, I've done other programs that didn't work, this is not a course, it's not just another program. It is personalized to you. It is business coaching personalized to you, live business coaching that I'm beside you the whole way. And can you afford it? You can, because ask yourself this: what is it costing you to stay where you are in the income, the energy, and the confidence you're sitting with right now? Because most of my clients earn back their investment within weeks. And you might be going, I'll just figure it out on my own, right? You can try. Good luck with that. And I mean that wholeheartedly, because a lot of people do, and they're in the same place 5 years later. But how long can it take, and how long will it take? This 2-month program gives you exactly the pathway you need: the strategy, the sales approach, the business coaching support, to skip the guesswork and the frustration and start seeing results now. So stop feeling stuck and start seeing steady growth. But the big question is, what's the investment? Well, it's really, really wonderful. The full investment for the Beauty Business Accelerator is only 2,500 Australian, but it's tailored business coaching where you learn how to consistently generate 8Ks plus per week without exhaustion or stress on repeat. But the great point, within the next 72 hours, you'll receive $500 off your fast action saving discount, bringing the investment down to only $2,000. And there are payment plans. So that is only investment of $250 a week with what you get back on repeat. Plus, you're going to get 2 extra bonus private coaching calls valued at $1,000. You already get 4 one-on-one coaching calls, but you're going to get an extra 2 if you sign up, if you drop the word discount below, because that's a total of $1,500 in added value, plus all the strategies, the whole program, earning 8K per week consistently on repeat. So to claim this, just drop the word discount and I'll send you the private link with your exclusive discount offer. I'm so excited. This is your moment to move forward with clarity, confidence, and real momentum, with support every step of the way. And let's make the next 60 days the most focused, profitable, and freeing chapter in your business yet. Yes, Michaela, you're in. I'll be sending it to you. My question is to you: what would you change for you? If you could make one powerful decision today to no longer settle for just getting by, what would you change for you. You're the most important person. What would you change for you if you made one powerful decision today to no longer settle for just getting by? Because you know what? Greater decisions create greater income, and your next level starts with the one you make today. Who wants this? Just comment below discount, and I'll be sending you your link, your personal discount code link. So beauties, I will announce, I'm so excited, there's been so much beautiful interaction. Nadira says yes, one client can bring more satisfaction and income for long periods. Yes, Nadira, yes, it's true. Yeah, but as I mentioned, there's been some great interactions. I'm going to be going over all of this during the next hour or so, and know anything from my experience that might help you go a bit deeper. I'd love to know. Sometimes there's a bit of a delay, so I'll just wait a little moment. But for Michaela, I'll be sending you the offer doc, and Jess, I'll be sending that to you too. Yeah, you know, being in this industry, for what we do, the space we hold for our clients and the people in our community is enormous, and I honor you and I serve you, and I want to keep showing up more for you in greater ways. So, you know, this is just the beginning of something that's really amazing. So I'm thanking you so much. If there's no further questions, I'll say good night, everyone, or good morning, wherever you're coming in from the world, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Sending you all lots of love. Bye for now, beauties.